because a baby is held between the backbone and the rib cage.
No, it's not.
But anyways, sorry?
No, it's not. Look, I'll show you.
Yes.
Look, here, hold on.
Stand up. Yep.
My ribs are here.
Okay.
Backbone is here. Baby's here.
Uh-huh.
For it to be between, right, between the ribs and the
Yeah.
backbone, my backbone would have to be here.
But did you ever look
That's
at
how it would
skeleton?
have to work.
Did you ever
Does
look
that
at the
look like where
skeleton
my
of a human
backbone is, bro?
Yes, bro. Did you ever look at the human skeleton?
The backbone stops here.
But did you ever look at... listen, go to Google and go to open a human skeleton photo.
No. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Good. I am 25 years old.
All right,
And
bro.
you?
I'm good, man. Why should I be a Muslim?
Why should you be a Muslim? Well, first of all, what do you believe in?
I'm a Christian.
You're a Christian. And why are you Christian?
Because of the historic evidence of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ.
And did you know about the historic contradiction in the Bible of Mary Magdalene, who went to see the rock, and then another...
Okay, cool. The Quran, the Bible's false. Why should I be a Muslim?
Okay. Well, first of all, let's start with that both Islam, Christianity, Judaism, every Abrahamic religion came from the same boss, from the same God.
That's a claim.
Okay.
I'm looking for a reason why I should believe these claims. I'm not
Yes,
interested
I'm
in the
gonna
claims.
come to that point.
Yeah.
No. It's not just a claim. Well, first of all, can you tell me how can a man in the desert 1400 years ago know of a pulsar star that is making a knocking sound, which NASA did actually release recording of the audio that they captured of the pulsar star, and it's actually mentioned in the Quran.
Yeah, he didn't. And the verse in the Quran is very cryptic, and you have to piece things
Cryptic
together.
in which way? In which way it's cryptic? It's literally saying.
So I tell you what.
Yeah.
You show me a verse in the Quran that says there is a knocking pulsar star that's in the sky, and I'll be convinced.
Sure.
That has to
Sure.
say those words.
Yes, literally those words. Open Surah Al-Tariq. It's called. I'll just see which number that surah is. So it's surah number 86.
86 what?
It's 86, and it's the first verse.
By the heaven and the nightly star.
And then the second verse.
And what will you make realize what is the nightly star?
And then the third verse.
It's the star of piercing brightness.
Okay. Well, I'm Arab, so you know, and Quran was revealed in Arabic. Okay. And it's still preserved to this day.
So it does. Where's the word pulsar?
Sorry, it says a piercing star.
No, where's the word pulsar? Because you said you're going to show me a verse that says there's a pulsar star. Show me the word pulsar.
Listen, the Quran was revealed in Arabic.
No.
Okay?
So do you admit that there is no word pulsar in here? What, in Arabic, English, or whatever?
No, there is.
The word pulsar is not in here.
There is.
Okay, which word is pulsar?
How about I send you a link here on the live?
Just tell me which word is pulsar.
It's the third verse. It says the piercing star. Sorry, not pulsar.
That word?
Yes.
That word is pulsar?
Sorry, I meant I didn't mean pulsar. I meant piercing when I was talking.
Right. No, you
but
didn't.
anyways,
No, you didn't. Because you
No,
no, you
what I
didn't.
meant.
No, you didn't. You're lying now. And
That's
I'm going to
what I meant.
explain to you how I know you're lying. No, I'm going to explain how I know you're lying.
But
Because
listen,
I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to explain to you how I know you're lying.
If you're
Hold on, please stop talking. Please stop
really
talking. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop here. So you might as well let me finish, right? I'm very stubborn.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I'm going to explain to you how I know you're lying. You came in and said, how does a man in the desert, right, hundreds of years before they could know about the pulsing star? And I said, well, no, it's very cryptic. You're piecing things together. And you said, no, it's not. It's very direct. And I said, show me a verse in the Quran that says pulsing star and I'll be convinced. And you said, yes, I can show you that in the Quran. And I said, and I specified, I said, it has to say pulsing star. And you said, yes, it will say pulsing star. Now we got there. And now all of a sudden it's piercing star. I don't believe you. I think you're lying.
Okay. Well, you can think whatever you want, but let me tell you this. English is not my first language. So when I say piercing or pulsing star, I can barely.
So those aren't the same. Those aren't the same thing. Pulsing and piercing are the same thing.
Okay.
Also, pulsars are dark, and this verse says it's bright. That's another point. So it
pulsar
says it's a piercing
listen.
star of brightness.
Okay,
Pulsars,
you're
pulsing,
gonna you're
pulsars,
going to be
pulsars,
taking this.
pulsars,
So,
pulsars are dark.
are you gonna let me talk? I let you talk and I listen to
Right,
you.
but I'm just saying pulsars are dark.
Okay. So thank you for clarifying that to me, but still that does not change the fact that in the Quran, Allah talks about a star that's making a knocking sound.
No, it doesn't.
And it's piercing star. No, it does. Like you just literally read it
It
now.
never even says knocking sound at all. It says,
Look,
by the heaven and nightly star, what will you make them realize the nightly star is? It is
okay,
a star of
can you
piercing
take the
brightness.
word at-tariq? Can you take the word at-tariq? The last
I don't
word
trust your translation.
Go to
No.
Google Translate.
I don't trust your translation. I trust the Quran.com's translation.
Okay. How about you take the last word of the second verse of Tariq and you put it on Google Translate and see
Google
what it says.
Translate is not a good source for academic translation.
I agree with you.
I trust the scholars that translated it.
I 100% agree with
Okay,
you.
so I'm not going to go to Google Translate, my friend.
Okay. So let me talk now. I listened to you. I'll let you talk. Now you listen to me and let me talk. I am Arab, okay, and the Quran was revealed in Arabic. So whatever translation there is out there is not the actual Quran because the actual word of God cannot be translated.
Right, so this is cryptic. Like I said. If you have to give a long convoluted explanation to it being a knocking star,
long convoluted explanation.
Then it's cryptic by definition.
Listen, I will tell you what is the literal translation of the verses, literally word by word.
Okay, just tell me what this word is. Go ahead, right? You speak Arabic?
Yes, I speak Arabic. Adraka, he told you.
Okay, and then
الثاقب.
Piercing.
Yeah, not knocking.
Yes, but if you go to the second verse says Tariq, which is knocking.
Look, wait, it said nightly. The word that's nightly.
It says Tariq. What do you see nightly?
Which word says Tariq? Second verse. Which one?
The last one.
The last one. Which one? Piercing?
Yes. No. You're the one above this one.
You said second verse, then you said third verse. Which verse is it?
I didn't say third. I said second. It's the last verse. Last word of the second verse. The last word. No, this is the first word. Arabic goes from right to left. At-tariq means the knocking star.
No, it means nightly star.
Oh my God! Listen, do you speak Arabic? Or I mean, I'm telling you what it says. Literally,
so you're telling me. Okay, can Quranic mean nightly?
There are some words that can mean 2, 3 different things.
Can it mean nightly? Hold on. So here's the thing. Can it mean nightly?
Yes, it's possible that
okay, so hold nightly, on. Is it constantly used in the context nightly?
No, it's constantly used in the context of Tariq.
So Tariq, does it mean nightly?
Yes. It means knocking.
Can it mean nightly?
No, not.
Okay, then why does every Quran I read translate it to nightly if it doesn't mean nightly?
Every Quran you read, I mean, you say that you read the Quran, but you're reading a translation of the Quran. You're not reading the actual Quran.
Anyways, why does everyone translate it to nightly?
That I'm not sure of. But now you're taking things like we're deviating from that.
Okay, you don't trust the scholars that translate your own Quran? You're a better scholar than them?
Look, I didn't say anything about any scholar.
What does the Hadith say, I wonder? Do you want to read the Hadith? See what it says?
Yeah, you can go ahead and read the Hadith about this.
Okay.
If there's
so it's going to talk about a knocking star in the Hadith, right? It's going to say it knocks or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not necessarily because not every verse has a Hadith.
Gushing forth, Judgment Day, no assistance, every betrayal with flag raised, and you have no meaning in the day. Helper meaning. Not seeing anything about knocking in here. Well, so if it always meant knocking, why didn't they write about it meaning knocking? Why like listen, this is just common sense 101, okay? Hold on. 1400 years ago, they used the word to talk about a star that you see at night, and they used nightly, and they used a word that means nightly. Thousands of years later, they found a star that has a knocking sound. And it just so happens that word nightly can also be, hold on, let me finish. That word nightly can also be used for knocking. And you think that means that Muhammad knew that there was a knocking star?
No. He didn't know. Like Muhammad, peace be upon him, by himself would have absolutely no way to know, because see,
You're missing the point of what I'm saying.
Sorry, can you explain it a little bit better?
It's really that simple, bro. It's not that hard. Okay, again, so the word nightly is used to talk about a star thousands of years ago. Very common way to talk about a star. Yes, you agree with that? Common way to talk about a star.
Nightly in the Quran it says tariq, which means
you're not
smoking.
answering the question. Is the word nightly a common way to talk about a star?
Nightly? No, it's not.
No, people don't say the midnight star or the night star. They never use those words.
You say it in English. I told you it's not my first language, but let me tell you this: like you're now like deep diving into like a specific word. Let me give you something that shocks your mind a little bit. There's one miracle of the Quran, and it's talking about this, like the embryo development in the womb, and basically.
I mean, but hold on, just real quick. Can we stay on this verse?
No, we cannot.
No. We are going to stay on this verse. We're going to stay on this verse, and here's why: because we're just going to continue down a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. They were created from the spurting fluid that came from the rib cage. What is the spurting fluid?
They were created from a spurting fluid. Spurting fluid is the cum.
Okay. Where is the spurting fluid in the human body?
It is generated in the testicles.
Okay, so then why does the Quran say it comes from the rib cage?
Yes, because you're here, like, again, you have to look at the actual verse. So
are you going to say rib cage also means balls?
No, let me finish. Please let me finish.
I'm just curious. Are you going to say, rib cage? Are you going to say,
look,
you're welcome to leave, bro. It's fine. Are you going to say rib cage means balls?
I'm not. You don't put words in my mouth. Okay?
I'm asking a question. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm asking a question. Are you going to say that?
Let me talk. Just like I listened to you, and I let you talk. Just like I listened to you, and let you.
But okay, so all you have to say is no. I'm not going to say that. Then I can let you answer. Just answer the question.
I didn't hear your question because you're not listening.
Are you going to say the word rib cage in Arabic also means balls?
Rib cage means the thing that is holding your lungs. I don't know, those bones, rib cage.
Okay, so it doesn't mean balls?
No.
Okay, give me your explanation then.
Okay. So if you, like you said, if you scroll down, so in the beginning, God is talking about, like, verse number 5. God's saying, so let the human being look what he was created from. He was created from a gushing or like a spurting fluid. Okay, it goes out from between the backbone and the rib cage, right? So the whole context, God is talking about a human being, and if you take it verse by verse, and that's not me just saying; those are the scholars saying this. Yes, there are some, like, there's two different opinions. Some scholars said that the actual the human being comes out between the rib cage, between the backbone and the rib cage, which is logical because a baby is held, between the backbone and the rib cage.
No, it's not.
But anyways, sorry.
No, it's not. That's not where the uterus is located.
Between the backbone and the rib cage. Where is it? Where else it is? Like, put your hand on the. Yes,
the uterus is much lower than that.
But so when the woman has a belly, where's that belly, between what and what exactly?
It's not between the backbone and the rib cage. It's lower than the rib cage.
Between, what does the word between means?
Between means something. It's between the
1
two.
and 10, for example.
But it's not between the two. It's near the backbone, because the backbone goes through the whole thing.
Is it like in the brain?
It's not. No, it's underneath the rib cage. It's not between it. It's not betwixt the two.
No, sorry, you're misunderstanding.
What does the word between mean?
The backbone. Do you know where's the backbone?
Yeah, I know where the backbone is.
Where is it? No, that's not what it's meant here by the backbone. The backbone.
It runs the whole way down, bro. All the way down to my butthole.
Here, but listen to me. The backbone here means specifically to the, like, lowest bone on your back, like the very, very last bone on your back. You understand?
Yeah, and guess what? Where the baby grows, there's
between the backbone and the ribs.
It's not between the backbone and the ribs, bro. Look, I'll show you. Look here, hold on.
Stand up. Yep.
Baby grows here.
Yes, where's your ribs?
Let me talk. My ribs are here.
Okay.
Backbone is here. So
Yes.
baby is here. It's not
But
between.
do you understand?
No, stop. Let me finish the whole thing. Before you argue, let me finish the
Go
whole
ahead.
thing.
Go ahead.
All the backbone goes down. Baby's here.
Uh-huh.
For it to be between the ribs, right? Between the ribs and the
Yeah.
backbone, my
Yeah.
backbone would have to be here.
But did you ever look at
That's how it would
skeleton?
have to work.
Did you ever
Does that
at the
look like where
skeleton
my
of a human
backbone
being?
is, bro?
Yes, bro. Did you ever look at the human skeleton?
The backbone stops here.
But did you ever look at? Listen, go to Google and go to open a human skeleton photo.
No.
Open a skeleton
No.
photo. I'm just gonna teach you biology
No.
101. Oh my God! Just look at a photo that shows you a human skeleton, and you will know what it means. Like literally.
No, I just showed you.
What?
Using
No,
my
you
own
can-
body,
you
my
showed
own
me your
human
butt and you
skeleton.
showed me your front. What do you mean?
I'm not doing this silly game where you literally think it's between. For it to be between, my backbone would have to be under my butthole. You know that, right? My backbone stops before my butthole.
Look, buddy, if you're genuinely asking me a question, why should you be a Muslim? Then just give me a chance here to at least talk to you about it, and go to Google and look at the backbone, like just a basic human skeleton,
No.
and you'll realize it.
I'm not doing it. I just showed you.
You showed me your ass,
Where's where my backbone ends? Do you think my backbone goes below my butthole?
but that's the end of it. Like it doesn't go below your
For it
below your waist.
to be between, it would have to go all the way through and curve up, which it doesn't. Right? Or the baby
But
would
it
have to
does,
grow
it
where my
does.
heart is.
It does. It does. If you look at the skeleton, human
All right, bro.
skeleton.
I'm moving on. I appreciate your time. God bless. This has not convinced me of Islam. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. If you want to watch more, you can click one of these and you can keep watching.